So Chilean food is really bland. Well, I guess by my expectations, I thought it would be like Mexico with lots of spices, and it's really not. You'll eat a lot of rice, and they put mayonnaise and lemon on everything. So I hope that you like mayonnaise. They eat a lot of bread, which is delicious. It's just like this homemade bread. It's really interesting because the homemade bread is super cheap, but like the sliced bread that you would get here is really expensive. So people you just go to the local little tiny store that's every couple blocks in people's houses really, and you just buy bread, and it's delicious. During the winter, there's something called once, and it's basically tea time after dinner. And so you eat so much bread, and I would say the winter is when you have a real chance of gaining a lot of weight because the bread is so good, and they'll put avocado on it or cheese on it. The cheese is really good, and you just eat so much of it. One piece of advice I would give about once is that there's a lot of different types of tea, and you'll be drinking a lot of it. But if you find one that you like, I always kept a couple packets of it in my backpack, because if you have an investigator and they don't have herbal tea and they only have black tea, then you get in an awkward situation. Or sometimes they'll only have like these weird teas that you think are really nasty. And so I just always kept the type that I liked in my backpack with me. Something that surprised me was, even though everything's on the coast, I ate almost no fish, no seafood really the whole time, and you'll eat just so much rice and chicken, and it's good food though. It's not bad, and I loved the empanadas. That's one thing that I really liked about the Chilean food, was these huge empanadas just full of meat and onions, and I loved them. But you should know that there is always this trick olive in the empanadas, and they're just really salty and like vinegary, and they have the pit in them. So be careful when you eat the empanadas. I loved them, but it was always, I'd eat very carefully until I found the olive. I'd throw that out or give it to my companion, and then I could eat more confidently. But the food's really good, and the members they just love giving food, and the investigators too. So it's just one of those things where even if you're full, you just have to accept more food. And one traditional thing for Independence Day, they have this thing called mote con huesillo, which is basically like rotten peaches, like dried rotten peaches in this like juice with these little wheat balls in them. And that's really popular. You'll drink that a lot around in September. It's kind of a hassle to drink, but it's really good. So you'll enjoy the food. It won't be too bad. I know a lot of missionaries had to take little, I had a Mexican companion, and she always had this tiny little bottle of hot sauce, because it was just really hard for her to not have spice in her food. But it's fun, and it's not bad, and you won't eat too many crazy things.